Hello, ghouls and ghoulies. Welcome to Scary and Bizarre Short Stories. I'm your host, Larry Lee Roten. This story is really frightful. Holding a seance can be dangerous for a beginner, especially if you conjure up something evil. These kids will soon find this out. The question is, will they survive this horrific ordeal? I hope you enjoy this scary tale. It's called The Sacrifice. The back door to the house was locked, but a swift kick to the jamb popped it open. 6 teenagers walked into the house. The old home set deep into the woods, and the for sale sign, which once stood boldly in front of the property, was now engulfed in tall weeds, briars, and wild bushes. The immaculate sofas, tables, chairs, and lamps were coated with thick dust, hiding their rich inlaid tops and finishes. The rugs still boasted their rich colors. They appeared to have been dusted with a light powder. The teenagers sat in the den. Pete, Billy, Jim, Jean, Irene, and Lily sat on the floor before the fireplace. Can we build a fire? Lily asked. Yep, Jim said. We can pull those drapes and no one can see the light. I'll find something to burn. I may have to break a few chairs, he laughed. Minutes later, the fireplace roared with a warm and inviting fire. The dancing flames chased the shadows into hiding as they lit up the room. If they catch us here, we'll be in trouble, Irene said. My dad will kill me. Billy laughed. No one ever comes here. This old house has been abandoned for years. I wonder why, Jean asked. I mean, why would anyone just abandon a house? I can tell you, Jim said. He looked around the room and pointed to a large picture over a desk. That family there, the Johnsons, built this house way before we were born. The story goes that once they moved in, strange and eerie things began to happen. For some reason, this old house was haunted. Jean interrupted. Haunted? Yes, Jim said, raising his hands, pretending to be a ghost. He continued, all I know is all of them were murdered here in this house. I've heard it was terrible, all slaughtered, and they never knew who killed them. You're making that up, Jean said. You're just trying to scare us. No, not really. That's the story. Since the murders, no one has lived in this old place. They just locked it up, and here it sits. Well, it makes a fine place to party, Irene said. They all sat around the fire, drinking beer and laughing. Things couldn't be any better. It was a great place to gather and hang out. We should have thought of this long ago, Jim said. It's quite nice. Let's tell some ghost stories, Irene said. It was an excellent thought, but no one knew any terrifying stories, so they all sat and stared into the fire. I've got an idea, Lily said. Let's hold a seance and see if we can contact the people who were murdered and ask them who killed them. Everyone stared at the young girl. Are you kidding? Jean asked. No, Lily said. It would be fun. Do you know how to hold a seance? Jim asked. No, but we can try. Are you guys scared? She looked around at her friends. Well, are you guys chicken or what? Let's do it, Jean said. It might be fun. If anything happens, we can always run away. They all laughed. Okay, what do we need to do? Jim asked. Throw some more wood on the fire, find some candles, and we'll sit in a circle, and I'll call on the spirits, Lily said. I may have to break a couple more chairs, Jim said, pointing toward the kitchen table. I'll find something to burn, and you guys look for the candles. Moments later, they all sat around the fire. They placed several candles in a circle, and 6 teenagers sat around the candles, holding hands. So now what? Pete asked. Guys, I don't think this is a good idea. You're messing with something you know little about. You may conjure up something evil. Oh, don't be a scaredy cat, Lily said. What's the worst that can happen? As the fire danced on the wood, she started. I call on the spirits here in this house, Lily said. Show yourself. Speak to us. Nothing happened. We are here to talk to the spirits of this house, Lily repeated. Show yourself. We command you to appear. She looked around and laughed. I saw this on TV. Still, the old house was silent. I beseech you to appear. I command you to appear, snapped Lily. A raspy voice echoed throughout the house. Who are you to command me? Everyone sat silent. Did you hear that? Lily asked. Of course we heard it, Lily. What was that? Pete asked. It's the spirits who live in this house. How do you know who it is? Pete asked. Guys, we need to leave. What Lily is doing isn't safe. Don't be so scared, Lily said. The dead can't hurt us. Are you the spirits murdered in this house? Lily asked. She was proud of herself. This was her first seance, and it was working. What could go wrong? Lily repeated, Are you the spirits that were murdered in this house so long ago? The raspy voice spoke once more. No. The sound echoed throughout the house. Were you killed in this house? Lily asked. No, said the voice. Who are you? What are you doing in this house? You invited me in, said the raspy voice. You commanded me to appear. You conjured me up. What's your name? Lily asked. I go by many names. Some call me evil, and others say I'm an abomination living in the dark. I've been known as Odium, the creator of hate. Why have you summoned me? Lily sat erect. Did you kill the people who lived here so long ago? Odium laughed. The sound reverberated throughout the house. Then a low, raspy voice echoed throughout the home. Yes. Cold chills ran up Lily's back. She broke the chain of hands and said, Let's get out of here. As the 6 teenagers stood to leave, the voice spoke once more. Silly girl, don't you know when you summon a dark spirit, you must give him a sacrifice? You can't awaken something like me and not pay for your actions. If you don't offer me a sacrifice, I'll be insulted. If you insult me, I'll kill all of you. It's your choice. What kind of sacrifice? Jim asked. What do you want from us? We don't have anything to offer. Oh, but you do, said the raspy voice. You have a soul. Jean, Irene, and Lily began to cry. Jim pleaded with the dark spirit. Please, let us leave. We meant no harm. No, shouted the raspy voice. I must have my sacrifice. Give me a soul, or all of you will succumb to my wrath, as did the family that lived here so long ago. They, too, conjured me up. They couldn't give one up, so I took them all. Jean, Billy, Jim, Irene, and Lily began to weep. We're sorry, cried Lily. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm so sorry. Please leave us. I'll leave, but one of you must stay. I will have my sacrifice. Pete looked at his friends. You guys leave. I'll stay. They all stared at the shy, soft-spoken teenager. Pete, Lily said. The raspy voice broke the silence. Leave now, or I'll kill all of you. The boy will be your sacrifice. I will have his soul. Everyone ran toward the door, leaving Pete standing in the den. The van started, and Pete heard the vehicle heading up the drive. They all left him to face the dark spirit. "They're gone," Pete yelled. Two boys came down the stairs with a megaphone and a voice-changing device. "How do we do, Pete?" asked one of the boys. "Great," Pete said. "I think Jim and Billy peed their pants." Pete laughed, held up his hands, and said mockingly, "I will have his soul." They all laughed and walked toward the back door. It slammed shut as they neared the door. A low, raspy voice echoed throughout the house. "I will have my sacrifice." Well, this is a story that would keep you out of abandoned houses. I hope you enjoyed this scary and bizarre short story. Now that you've listened to my story, I must require sacrifice. A simple thumbs up will suffice. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. And as always, I thank you.